Hey y'all, today we're going to continue looking at the women's semifinal for the 2019 USAU National Championships. We're going to pick up here in the second half where Fury is coming out of a timeout looking to get a break in this end zone right here, and we're going to take a look at what their first look is in this end zone set, and then how they're running their end zone offense out of that. So a couple of things to note as we're going through this. One is how quickly the disc is moving out of the player's hands. Players aren't holding the disc much longer than 3 stalls, getting it out and getting it moving pretty quickly. There's one point where the disc is held for maybe 5 stalls at most in the middle, and it's very contextual. And the second thing to note is how much players are moving. So this is the Fury defensive line attempting to get a break. So, it's a little bit maybe more chaotic than an offensive line might run their end zone set, but for a pretty good reason, creating that controlled chaos, catching players off guard, and making the offense work harder than they want to on this point and hoping to tire them out. So again, it's coming out of the timeout. There's a few stalls on, so we're going to get one quick look off of this end zone. This end zone set play, and then it's going to pretty quickly get into that movement that Fury is looking for. The play that they're going to look for is we have OP Payne on the front of the stack right here. And what she's going to do is she's going to make a quick movement up line, trying to get the score in the front of that end zone on that strike cut. It's going to be pretty well defended, both by the mark and by her defender, who I believe is Lynn Hoffman right there. So what's going to happen after that shutdown is one, Opie's going to continue her cut all the way around, and we're actually going to eventually see her back over here later on in the point. But the first thing that's going to happen is Nazaroff, while Opie is making her cut, she's going to push up a little bit and then come back down and get swing. So the disc is going to come and swing to Nazaroff. Our thrower, upon throwing it, is going to do a quick give and go movement, a pretty useful movement you'll see a lot of handlers do, and receive the disc back in the middle of the field. While that's going on, our second player in the stack is going to set up their cut. So they're going to come down as Opie is making her cut. They're going to cheat over this way a little bit, and as throw goes up and as the play continues, they're going to make a good cut to continue the swing across the field from the front of the stack. And then Kaylor, who is in the 4 in the stack right here, is going to come down and continue to receive the disc right here. So pretty quickly we have the disc moving across the field and gaining about 5 yards, a pretty good movement for this end zone set. So we'll watch that go, and then we'll take a quick pause to see what happens after that. Opie makes her cut. Shut down. Nazaroff gets the dump, pushes over to the strike. We have our player who is 2 in the stack continue on, and then Kaylor gets the disc, and we'll take a pause right here. So a couple of things to note. After Nazaroff has thrown the strike, she has pushed up to get into position right here. And then we have our player who has just thrown to Kaylor is also making this strike cut out of the play. So this is a pretty simple offensive end zone set. You have players throwing and going, clearing space, keeping the disc moving. Nazaroff, having pushed up into the stack, is going to come back and receive the disc right around here in the middle of the field. And this is where we're actually going to see Nazaroff hold the disc for about 5 or 6 seconds, 5 or 6 stalls here, because as she receives the disc, Opie Payne, being aware of the play, is going to cut across the front of the end zone and try to receive the score from Nazaroff right around here. Tajima, the defender on Nazaroff, is going to make a really good play and seal off right around here, seal off any option that Nazaroff has for a swing, shut it down pretty well. And then after we see that play develop, the disc is going to swing back over to the right side of the field, and we'll take a pause once again there to see what's going to happen. So we have Nazarov come down. Tajima does really well to seal it. We'll get a little bit of a dishy throw out to the right side here, and then we'll take a pause right here. So what we have here is Nazarov having thrown that little dishy pass, has pushed up into that strike and then come back for again that quick dump movement here. And in doing so, she's created really good separation between her and Tajima. So, because there's that threat, because they're attacking quickly into the front of the end zone space right here, Tajima has to cover that spot. Nazarov knows that she can get that quick separation around here again. What's going to happen next is you can see Kaylor up here already starting her cut to the front of the end zone cone. So the disc, you can see right here, is in the middle of the air. Kaylor is being really, really aware of what's happening, being very focused on the play, and she's gonna make the cut, curling onto the end zone right here, and not having too much separation, but just enough separation for Nazarov to put that disc out into space and around Tajima, who makes a really good play on that disc. So we'll take a look here and see how this goes down. Nazarov gets the disc and puts that disc out into space in stride for Kaylor to get the score. So we've brought it back to the beginning here again, so we can watch that whole sequence straight on through. And again, take a note of how quickly Fury is moving that disc and how much movement is going on in the stack. A lot of movement, a lot of chaos happening, but that controlled chaos that helps keep the offense on their heels and helps Fury get this break and bring it within one.
And again, that's saying a lot. Fury is such an amazingly talented team. And for Snyder to be able to just take charge has always been an absolutely outstanding element of her game.
Good quick disc movement here out of the timeout from Fury. Nazarov over to Lynn. Nazarov to Kaylor. She's in the end zone. Tajima did all she could, bidding off the mark. But Kaylor's got the score, and we've got a one-goal game.